We begin with the latest out of Texas after another school shooting, this time at an elementary school. The death toll has risen to 19 children and 2 teachers killed at Robb Elementary in Uvalde, Texas, a small town near the Mexico border.
An additional 17 were hurt, but they are expected to survive. The school teaches 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade students. An 18-year-old man was identified as the shooter and was killed by officers. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kariba Devine. When we see these kinds of tragedies happen, we look to see what could have caused it in the first place. It is our natural tendency as humans to wonder why.
Often we hear about mental health and what role, if any, that might have played in a mass shooting. But researchers say a bigger risk factor in these situations might actually be domestic violence.
Team 12's Colleen Sakura is looking into what the research shows. Colleen?
Yeah, depending on the research that you look at, 60 to 70% of mass shootings, a shooting of 4 or more people, involve domestic violence. Either the perpetrator shot one of their own family members or they had a history of domestic violence. Law enforcement in Texas say the shooter yesterday shot his grandmother before going and shooting kids and teachers at the elementary school. Looking back at past mass shootings,
it's a startling number, and I think it still is shocking.
Lisa Geller with the Johns Hopkins Center for Gun Violence Solutions found almost 7 out of 10 mass shootings involved the suspect shooting one of their own family members or an intimate partner, or had a history of domestic violence.
The more that you look into these cases and the more that you look at individuals who have a history of domestic violence and what they do, it's not actually that surprising.
And not surprising to Maricopa County Attorney Rachel Mitchell either.
People have no idea how damaging domestic violence can be.
When it comes to domestic violence case submittals to MCAO, 2020 brought a spike, 378.
I think that the COVID lockdown has led to the exacerbation of a lot of problems that people had.
Mitchell says a few years ago, the office worked with the legislature to increase domestic violence strangulation cases to a felony over statistics showing the concerns those cases could escalate to murder, saying they're now looking into cases of victims getting a concussion from their abuser.
I think it's very important for us to be involved in that, to really appropriately classify in the level of seriousness what these acts involve.
Knowing the impact these cases can have.
Domestic violence has a profound effect on society, and that's why we need to take these cases very seriously.
So would reducing the number of domestic violence cases reduce mass shootings in our society?
It probably will have a significant impact on mass shootings because there's such a strong connection between the two. It's very difficult to say that passing one policy or preventing one type of individual at risk of violence will stop all these acts.
And Mitchell also said there's not just one victim in domestic violence, the whole family is victimized, and she encouraged those in that situation to seek resources and services. We're live in the Alert Center. Colleen Sakura, 12 News.
Colleen, thanks. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence or maybe feels trapped in an abusive relationship, there is help out there. You can call the Phoenix Police Department's Domestic Violence Helpline anytime at 1-800-799-SAFE. Someone will be there to take your call.